But, a little scruffy. Oh, it's almost time to chop it off for the summer. It's a Sunday. I believe it's Cinco de Mayo. 5-5 portal. Woohoo! So, I don't know, I've had a lot of shit coming through today, so I spent a lot of time resting today, enjoying my day off. I'm a big Formula One fan, so I watched my race. It was a very good race. Miami. Good stuff. Best driver parade I've ever seen. It was awesome. Lego made life-size Lego Formula One cars, and the drivers got to drive them and sort of, you could call it racing, but they definitely had fun. So, definitely look that up on YouTube. Epic. It was just, yeah, awesome. So to the people who've watched one of my recent videos and subscribed, thank you. I hope you got something out of it. I don't necessarily make these for views and likes and all that stuff, but of course they're appreciated. I don't know what these are. Channeled messages, stream of consciousness. Mostly just my experiences on my own personal healing journey. I recently had a conversation with a friend of mine who has been on their own journey, as we all are. And like myself and others, I have seen this person repeat certain cycles in their life and struggle with certain things. Which reminds me about, there's a particular page in the big book for those 12 steppers out there where it talks about acceptance is the key. And it is a big key. Accepting life on life's terms, situations, accepting the fact that we don't have control over everything. Very little, actually. Is definitely one of the I don't know if I'll call it the cornerstone, but definitely one of the keystones in building a solid foundation to stick on that theme: serenity, peace, bliss, these things. Anyway, we were talking about words and things people say, and how a lot of times when you get into a disagreement with somebody, of course, people have a tendency to emotionally react, and usually, like, as an example, an argument, everyone is familiar with those. Usually the person who emotionally reacts loses the argument at that point. But of course, this talked about, it ventured off into why people react the way they do, why they say things the way they do, and how a lot of it is just projection, lashing out, and it's a defense mechanism, it's a function of the ego, and all of these things. But it brought out the power of the spoken word, and why, for example, in these videos, I speak the way I do. There are certain tones and inflections I use with intent and purpose, as well as my cadence and the words I choose. I've spent many, many years of my life learning a lot of, some more painful than other, lessons about the power of the spoken word. And oftentimes it's not what you say, but how you say it. There's a reason, to quote Bruce Lee, they call it spelling. The power of the spoken word is a form of instant manifestation. Emotion is just energy in motion. And when you speak, you are physically projecting that emotion through a vibration. like the difference of somebody saying, I love you, and yeah, I love you. There's a difference. One carries the actual emotion of love, and the other one is just the word. The point being is they both elicit a reaction. As physics states, for every action there's an opposite and equal reaction. And that's not just in the physical realm, that's not just in Newtonian physics, but that's also in energy. It's conservation of energy, really, is what it comes down to. A lot of people don't apply that to the human experience, and there's actually a lot of it that can be applied to the human experience. Point being is, you can't take words back. Once they're spoken and received, whether they're received in a proper, in the same manner in which they were intended or not, usually comes down to how it was spoken, which is why it's so important to choose your words wisely. They have a lot more weight and impact than what most people give them credit for. The conversation I was having with my friend that brought all of this out was due to their past experiences and having been lied to on multiple occasions about some of it being absolutely dumb, mundane shit. Others being of more significance or consequence. They're a real stickler for brutal honesty, much as myself. I prefer it, quite honestly. It doesn't leave anything for imagination. It doesn't leave anything for misinterpretation. But the problem this person was having is that, with these certain encounters with a person in their life, this person would lash out and say things, pretty hurtful things, on more than one occasion, and at times repeat those things more than once. But then, of course, when the dust settles and this person questions the other and attempts to get them to take accountability and, of course, clarify what exactly they meant. Oh, I didn't mean that. It was just in the moment. Really? You've said it multiple times now. In the moment. So obviously there's some weight or truth to it. The point is that's not something that can be taken back. So if you tell somebody how you feel in the moment, try to be a little more aware of not only what you're saying, but how you're saying it. Nobody likes to be verbally or emotionally attacked. Oh, well. Okay, there are the exceptions to every rule. But for the most part, nobody does. And if you find yourself in a particular state where you feel that you need to react or defend yourself by going on the offensive, as they say, sometimes the best defense is a good offense, and sometimes the best offense is a good defense. So if you find yourself in a state where you're going to emotionally react and lash out, we've all heard the cliche tools, pause, count to 10, so forth and so on. And they do work, they really do. There's one I particularly like, and it's called First Thought Wrong. Especially for people who have suffered and are recovering from some form of addiction or codependency addiction. Oftentimes, your first thought is your autopilot. It's the programming that puts you in the situation that you're in now, that's forcing you to react in the same manner that you have been for years and years and years. This is what a lot of people call a karmic cycle. you're repeating certain behavior patterns and certain relationships over and over again because there's a particular lesson in there that part of you wants to learn that you obviously keep attempting to relearn. And I'm 100% guilty of this. I've wasted half of my life doing it, if not more. And I'm grateful not only for my spirituality, my conscious contact with my higher power, but I'm grateful for the experiences I've had with certain people who were strong enough to break me open and force me to take a serious hard look at myself and my particular behavior patterns. So to that person, thank you. I told that person I loved them unconditionally, and I meant every letter of it. Granted, we are not in contact, and we probably never will be again, but that doesn't mean I will ever stop loving them, no. And nor does it mean I'm ungrateful for the lessons I've learned from that relationship. I'm absolutely grateful. And I'm grateful that I had enough strength to learn the lessons and to grow from that experience. And not just either A, repeat it, or just harbor resentment for the rest of my life. Nah. Life's too short to stay angry or hold a grudge. And in my experience with that particular season of my life, I believe both of us said things that were probably far more impactful and hurtful in the moment than either one of us realized. But the trick there is forgiving oneself for not knowing any better. And the point to all of this is, once again, the power of the spoken word. It's not necessarily what you say, but it's how you say it. And it's the energy behind it. And it may not even be a conscious thing to the person receiving. But there are so many things that the mind, there's so much information your brain picks up and filters out, so that the conscious mind doesn't become completely inundated and overwhelmed to the point of complete paralyzation. That does make it to the subconscious mind. It does get filtered through. Try to make yourself more aware of just the tone of your voice, where you feel it vibrate in your body. We'll give you a bit of a clue. There's a reason why Om is very powerful, because it sets a certain frequency of vibration through the body, as well as the mind and everything else. It's the same thing with speaking. Like I said, it's a form of instant manifestation. You are instantly manifesting a thought, an idea, a concept, as well as an emotion. I know it sounds very too simple, almost, but it's true. This little thing we call a voice box, these little flaps of skin that vibrate, they are physically affecting the air that comes out of your mouth, and therefore creating a physical vibration. People will pick up on that. They will feel it. They will hear it. This is why one of my best quotes, this is an original. Let's hear with the mind, listen with the heart, and feel with the soul. And that's exactly what that means. It's a recipe for true communing, or communicating, I should say. You don't just hear the words. Listen to the frequency, listen to the vibration, feel it. And if you start making yourself aware of that combination, that particular trifecta, as there are many in this world, you'll start being a lot more, at least in my experience, you will start becoming more aware of what you're saying and how you're saying it. Someone a long time ago told me there's a difference between acting out your emotions and acting on your emotions. It's not too dissimilar from the difference of listening to reply and listening to understand. So, anyway, power of the spoken word. I'll do more on it and give some better specific examples, but the point is it's very powerful, it's very potent, it has a lot more impact than what a lot of people realize. So, yeah. Have a blessed day.